Today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic, which is the cardiovascular system, or as mentioned in your book as Transport in Animals, chapter 9. Starting with the heart, the first thing we should know is the structure of the heart. The heart consists of 4 chambers, which are right and left. This is the right atrium, and this is the left atrium. We have the right ventricle and left ventricle. So right atrium, right ventricle and left ventricle. This is the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Superior means up, inferior down, or upper and lower. So upper and lower, superior and inferior vena cava. Here is the pulmonary artery, and this is the aorta, which is an artery too. Those 4 are the pulmonary veins. So the heart consists of 4 chambers: right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle, and we have the arteries and veins. The veins are superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, and 4 pulmonary veins. The arteries are pulmonary artery and aortic artery. Plus, we have openings, 4 openings, or they called valves, right and left. The valves are atrioventricular and semi-lunar. They're called atrioventricular because they are at the junction between atria and ventricle. So we have right atrioventricular and left atrioventricular. This is number 1. They're called semi-lunar because they look like semi-lunar. So let's draw it to know what a semi-lunar valve looks like. It's like this, semi-lunar. Atrioventricular, as we mentioned before, we have right and left. Semi-lunar, we have right and left. The right atrioventricular is called tricuspid, and the left atrioventricular is called bicuspid. The right semi-lunar is called pulmonary valve. The left semi-lunar is called aortic valve. This is everything about the structure. Just keep in mind the basic structure and add to it that there's a septum. A septum separating the right side from the left side so the blood doesn't mix. The right side and left side blood, there is no opening between both sides because there's a septum. Here is the septum. Another thing, that the left side or the left ventricular muscle is thicker than the right ventricular muscle. And we will say why in the following part.